When suffering strikes, it's natural to want resolution. You want healing. You want the job. You want reconciliation. You want a breakthrough. You want the fix. You pray, you fast, you plead, you journal, you counsel, you research, you plan. And none of these things are bad. I'm not saying that at all. But what happens when you want the fix more than you want the Father? This subtle shift is easily overlooked. You start with good motives, asking God to act, to move, to help. But slowly you begin to measure His goodness by how quickly He gives you what you ask. You start to believe that relief is the ultimate goal and God is the means to achieve it. But that turns the living God into a vending machine. Insert prayer, receive outcome. Suffering exposes this temptation because it reveals where your functional hope lives. Do you want the storm to end because you miss your sense of peace or because you miss communion with the God of peace? If you're honest, like me, then many of our frustrations with suffering aren't because we think God abandoned us, but because He hasn't fixed the problem yet. This perspective is not a call to suppress your longing, this desire for an end result. God knows your heart, and He welcomes your cries. The Psalms are full of honest laments and desperate petitions. But what made David a man after God's heart wasn't that he demanded fixes. It was that even in agony, he kept pressing into God. He said, "Whom have I in heaven but you? And there is nothing on earth that I desire besides you." That's the language of someone who has been stripped of outcomes and still clings to a person. If you want the fix more than the Father, you'll always live with conditional trust. You'll obey as long as life goes your way, but biblical faith rests in the character of God, not just the hand of God. It says, even if the healing never comes, the job never opens, the relationship never mends, I will trust you. I will love you. You are my portion. Suffering has the power to realign your affections. It strips away illusions, it removes counterfeit gods, and it helps you to see what matters most. And often that means God will let you sit in the unresolved tension long enough to ask the deeper questions. Is Christ enough? Not Christ plus healing, not Christ plus control, just Christ. Only when you want the Father more than the fix will you begin to suffer well. Because then, even if the circumstances don't change, your heart does. You learn to treasure the giver more than the gifts. You begin to say with Paul, I count everything as loss because of the surpassing worth of knowing Christ Jesus, my Lord. The Father is not withholding to punish you. He may be waiting to give you something better, Himself. Ask for the fix, that's fine, but want Him more. Here is a reflection for you to think about. If God never gave you the resolution that you're asking for, would Christ still be enough for you?